So, what do you guys want to talk about?
You can call this the New World Order of Wrestling, brother. Put out the caution tape. Put out the orange cones. Acknowledge me.
Hey everyone, and welcome to A Plus Wrestling here on KPHR and other places as we are live on the YouTubes at Hutch Henry's, at A Plus Wrestling, and so many more places. We have so much to talk about here on A Plus Wrestling. So this week, we are going to be going commercial free. We're your hosts. I'm Boris, and as always, I'm joined by Hutch. Hutch,
I am your hosts as well. We are all in here.
All together, we are.
I am
hosts.
the many. Yes, we are Borg. Anyways, copulating with wild women. I gotta make a new intro. I think I like that intro, but it needs to be even if I use the same clips, we gotta shore it up, make it look better. Just whip that together. But now I've gotten kind of used to it. In the modern age, we like to bring back old stuff, right? Like old names. It's to call you. I think that in 2026, it's kind of like chic to call your brand new baby daughter Gertrude. Throwback names, and people like to use old words. Nobody's using copulate, and we need to bring that. We need to bring that back. But in the modern world,
we're going to be copulating some wrestling here on this episode. That's right, copulating wrestling. Yeah, we're live. For those of you listening on KPHR in Hamilton, it is Thursday evening, but you know what? We're trying different things out here on A Plus and at Hutch Henry's. We are going to probably try to go live each and every week, get that interaction going with our listeners.
Yes.
So we're going to try to get that information out before this is a last second decision on this beautiful Thursday morning. But we want to do more of these live shows. We want to talk to you. We want people on the line with us. We want to be chatting wrestling because, man, these midweek shows, I'm telling you, there's so much more to talk about sometimes. I feel this week's been busy.
Instead of recording on a Sunday before the pay-per-view, I don't know. Yeah, this is neat. I'm not usually available right now, but I was available right now, so this is neat. I don't get to see. We should set it up so I can see the live chat, and hopefully this will work out in the future. But yes, we don't have to kayfabe when we're recording it now. We can be honest, right? We can be like, we are live Thursday morning. We're so behind schedule. We've decided to record literally right before the show, which kind of makes sense.
It does. It really does in this weird, beautiful, serene way. I can see the chat. You can see the chat, but I'll show you how to do that another day. Hutch, where are we going to start? Like I said, we're commercial free here on KPHR, and we're live on YouTube at Hutch Henry's and at A Plus Wrestling.
Where to start? You mentioned you were like, hey, let's talk Raw, let's talk Dynamite, and let's talk some New Japan. And I was like, oh, Raw, let's just talk, AEW from last night. And you were like, no, we'll talk about Raw. And I realized, I think I did watch Raw. It's been a hell of a week. And I'm like, yes, wait, I did watch Raw. So if you start mentioning things, I feel like my animal brain, I know my J brain, it'll be like, suddenly you'll say something and I'll be like, yes, I remember that segment. And suddenly I'll be able to talk about it. But if you ask me now what happened on Raw, I'll be like, there was Rhea Ripley was there, right? She did something. I'm blanked right now.
Yeah. There was a lot that happened, right? We saw the Usos versus Alpha Academy. Wasn't too bad of a match.
It's all coming back. Yes, and Maxine Dupree, I'm remembering, and Becky and AJ, it's all coming back. All you had to do is say a few things, and it's like a freaking flood. But yes, amazing. I think I realize now that for the first time in a long time, we have all the matches heading into the pay-per-view, right? They haven't done this in a while. It's usually been week of, or even with Rumble, with the exception of who's actually in the Elimination Chamber matches, which we're going to find out. All of our superfluous other matches have all been put on the table here. So that's kind of
crazy concept, pre-announcing your matches, hyping up your matches, hyping up your fans, putting some promotion around the event. Hutch, quick question before we get into things. Now that we're talking about this, you think that, we've been seeing some reports about lackluster WrestleMania sales. We've been seeing some reports, lackluster WrestleMania ticket sales in Las Vegas. We've seen some reports where TKO is now implementing the 50-yard ban or the 50-mile ban around the stadium.
Yeah.
All
right. So, okay, quick question. Quick answer. You're like, so quick question. The inner workings of the monetary compensation ideals of WWE and how they're handled. Well, yeah, let me just give you a quick answer on the fact that they're greedy efforts. Is that what you want? Yeah, they're greedy Fs.
I'll go for a coffee. I can make a coffee, go to the bathroom,
And then
I'll come back. You'll still be
Yeah.
talking. Go ahead.
Geez, you know what? 2 years in a row, right? I mean, this isn't Trump, like, but somehow they did it back in like WrestleMania 4, WrestleMania 5, and they did okay. And it didn't feel wrong there. This time it feels like, they announced New Orleans, right? And then they revoked it, and they thought, man, we did so well in Vegas last year. And I went to that Mania. We did Demand Lucha in town, and I did a bunch of things. So I was in town for Vegas, and funny enough, everybody somehow I slipped through the cracks, and we were all getting this massive B&B just outside of town, and I didn't get in time, and I just got myself a casino hotel downtown, and I'm glad I did, because these guys traveled 45 minutes in and out of town all the time, sometimes an hour with traffic, and I was just like, oh yeah, well, I'm 3 blocks over there, so I'm gonna play some roulette and then go to sleep. And dude, Vegas was fun. And one of the funnest things was every major hotel and thing. And, they love to project things on the sides of buildings. Like, who needs a screen? This entire side of this building that's off white would make a great screen. It's nice. So everything is lights. And even when you're not on the downtown strip, there's plenty to look at. That's for sure. And there was WrestleMania everywhere. I didn't even have to go to WrestleMania and just turn, there's WrestleMania on this building over here, and sometimes it would go away for a second and they'd show Bully Ray and they'd be like, Bully Ray live tonight as a DJ. And I'm like, okay, go back to the wrestling. And then they'd fade back to WrestleMania. They got to get their ads in, but it was everywhere. You didn't have to go to WrestleMania to enjoy some WrestleMania. And so if they're going to stop
one of the unfortunate parts, let me jump in and interject. One of the unfortunate parts here is that I know people personally who have already bought tickets to some of these viewings. Nothing like watching WrestleMania poolside on, like you said, this big ass building. And guess what? They're all being refunded. They're all being canceled. No one really TKO hasn't made this official. Hotels are starting to send notifications to people, but they haven't officially canceled stuff because TKO hasn't officially told people. And we're a couple months in. And now, to that point, one of the biggest events in the world is coming to Toronto and other places in Mexico and the U.S. this summer. And that's the World Cup. You know what the biggest part of the World Cup is? It's not necessarily going to the games. It's going to the host cities and spending time with like-minded individuals.
Yes.
You're destroying that, TKO. You're destroying that.
Speaking of destroying, I want to go to a bar and I want to have all the local Italians in Toronto when they win the game. I want to be able to go outside of the bar or be on said patio watching it and just watch them wreak destruction through sheer happiness on the city. I'd be like, if I'm in the stadium, it's going to take me forever to get to my car. But if I'm just at a bar, I can be like, all right, that fire's a little too close. We should probably go home. But I can enjoy it for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, our boy, Mikey Truth, right? Come on. He's going to be down there poolside at some hotel watching it where they're projecting it on the side of a building. And they're like, they're throwing a monkey wrench into his engine.
Yeah. It's greed as greedy can be. And do you attribute this to low ticket sales, or is this just TKO being TKO?
That's what I was going to say. So supposedly, and that's where I started with the whole you doing it twice in one city. And then of course I went off on a tangent, but they were like, oh, we did so well last year. We can do it again. And the tourism and this, and their response to low ticket sales has been to up the price of the remaining tickets. Oh, me too. You had your phone go off and then my phone went off. We're like amateurs here in the morning on a live stream. So it's weird. It's a totally different beast, WWE now. Other people would put prices down or maybe put out some package deals or a Groupon or, hey, hotel WrestleMania package or something. They're just nah, throw on 20%. The people who have last minute remorse buys will take it. But you've also fleeced your customers for the last year and a half or more. They're done, man. And you don't have let's just say you saw did you see the pic of all of the private jets for the Super Bowl? They showed the airport, it's just private jets everywhere because all the famous people are going to leave and get on their private jet. Is that what they want for WrestleMania? Because I can't go do 2 WrestleManias in a row with my family and still like afford to pay my mortgage, you know, because you guys are crazy. You know, butter's already $12. Like, what do you want from me here? You know, like it's rough and they don't care.
Now, let's continue this conversation because I've been thinking about this a little bit more. People gave Royal Rumble a lot of flack. They say that WWE's been stale. They say that they're not doing good promotion. They're not pushing the right people, yada, yada, yada. Now this whole WrestleMania fiasco, and they're blaming ticket sales, which one could then say it is the fault of creative. Do you think that we're in a point where Triple H might be sweating a little bit?
Maybe. I'm not sure if they realize that we are humans out here. We're not just fodder for the machine. Okay.
Exactly.
So when you play me I'm back in the saddle, like when I hear this WrestleMania, who knows what's gonna happen in Vegas, and all this freaking sitting at the table and the poker analogies and all this stuff, like it's ad nauseum constantly. If I had the money, if I had the inclination to spend the money to go to WrestleMania, and I might not go just to be like, screw you. Okay. And like, take a look at the WrestleMania poster, like Triple H and Paul Heyman at the top of the table with all the wrestlers there. Try and picture Vince McMahon on a wrestling poster for WrestleMania. Would never happen. I mean, you get the Invasion poster. It was half him and half Shane. And like, I think you had like one of the games, like Raw 2014 might have been a half Vince face or something. Very, very, very few times would you ever see Vince on a poster. And like, dude, you can't turn around in a circle without seeing Triple H on some stuff, video game covers, poster covers, like commercials. Why has it got to be Triple H voicing over everything? It's like, hey, you know, but at the same time, Triple H is not in the Vince position. There's somebody else in the Vince position who might be saying, hey, Triple H, you're our face, you're our figurehead. I want you out there doing this stuff. So it might, and he might happily say, sure. So it might not just be him being like, hey, I can't see past my own nose. But it's pretty, you know, it's a long nose. So give him a break. But I can't see past my own nose to realize that I'm putting myself in everything. Like he might be being told to, right? So I don't know. But
I think it is because TKO, let's look at the TKO formula. They have UFC where Dana White, even though he's not the owner, he's the figurehead. He's the face of the company from a corporate point of view. They're just imitating and duplicating that with Triple H.
Yeah, and you know what? And doing the press conferences afterwards, like I'm down with that. I'm down, but there's more, and I guess it is a show, right? UFC is actually combat sport. So you can only go so far with all of your pomp and circumstance and storylines and stuff. So I can see with the WWE product, you might have him in there more, right? You don't have managers in UFC that interact and like interfere and have backstage arguments with the general manager. It's like, hey, Dana, yeah, what do you want, Paul? Like that doesn't happen. So I can see why he's incorporated in things more. But you know where I'm coming from. It's too much. It doesn't seem right. I don't mind him starting WrestleMania, biggest. Okay, fine. I get it. But you don't have to do every pay-per-view, and you certainly don't have to tell us how you made more money than you've ever made before. And I see that there's not as many people as last time. So basically means you're fleecing us all and you don't care. You're like, we made so much damn money. And it's like, welcome to the show. And it's like, okay, thanks. So yeah, like, I don't think that there's as much interest because like I said, we're human. People are kind of like, okay, yeah, I'm not paying that money and I'm not, whatever, you know? Yep. They're tired of being treated this way. So you're always going to get less of a return. I mean, it happened with All In and Wembley. You can't expect it to happen all the time.
Yep. I think All In will be great this year because they took that year off, came to Texas, yada, yada, yada. But I do think that, you know, we're setting the stage in a corporate point of view now where if TKO is upset at sales or upset at the return or upset at profits, I think now they have their stooge. They have their scapegoat.
Yeah, maybe. But I can't see how they can be upset. Like, I think their mission was like they were somehow in the red.
Have you worked for an American corporate company lately?
No. Yeah, well, okay. I don't mean it like that. What I don't
mean it like that, but like
they came in with this whole TKO endeavor somehow in the red. I know some people are saying that they're making more money than ever, but like when they amalgamated the companies, they took on the debt from somewhere else, and supposedly they were billions in debt, which is why they are razor focused on revenue. They didn't have to advertise the Rumble until like a week before or do anything related to this because the whole thing was paid.
Your sound is off. Your sound is off. I have no clue what just happened. Your sound just like died. Hutch, mid-sentence. His sound is gone. We are live here on at Hutch Henry's on YouTube and A Plus Wrestling, A Plus Productions. And if you're listening also, then you're probably listening on KPHR Hamilton. Hutch, how are things looking over there on your side? Oh, he's pissed. He's working it. He can hear me, right? Yeah, he can hear me. All right, well, that's the thing, right? So, like, at the end of the day, I kind of feel like TKO is now setting the stage that if they want to make changes, they can. So we'll see what happens there. Going back to what was happening on WWE Raw, so Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio, just red hot as they always are. I absolutely loved this promo, and in my opinion, it's kind of interesting because I honestly thought that Liv Morgan had picked Stephanie Vaquer as of last week, but here we are. Who is she going to pick? Vaquer or Jade Cargill? Who is it going to be? And I really enjoyed the interaction that Vaquer had with Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. And then, the whole puta at the end was fantastic. So I really did like that. I do think that at the end of the day, it makes most sense for Liv Morgan to choose Stephanie Vaquer. I think that is the obvious choice, especially like we've been talking about here on A Plus Wrestling, as it pertains to Raquel Rodriguez and how Raquel Rodriguez can figure into this. So I do think that Liv Morgan will still be taking on Stephanie Vaquer, but we will see. I digress. All right, now also we then had Rhea Ripley getting into the Elimination Chamber match as she beat Ivy Nile and Lyra Valkyria. Are you back? He's back, but still can't hear him. Unfortunately. But yeah, Rhea Ripley ends up winning this match. She's in the Elimination Chamber. That means that she is joining, let us see here, Tiffany Stratton in the Elimination Chamber. Still 4 spots left with matches happening on SmackDown and Raw as we get closer to Elimination Chamber. We saw Natty and Maxine Dupree go into a double countout. I kind of foresee that this will possibly most likely be maybe a WrestleMania match. See, here's where I would have asked Hutch, hey, is Natty versus Maxine Dupree WrestleMania quality? And then he would have talked for about 5 to 10 minutes about how it is or how it isn't. But he's still having some audio issues. We're still going with the show here on KPHR and on YouTube. So then we saw a very interesting match as Javon Evans and the OG El Grande Americano took on Los Americanos, with Javon Evans getting the win. Very interesting stuff here. The dynamic between the OG Americanos, or the El Grande Americanos, is always very interesting for me. I love how they're feuding, but depending on what country they're in, one's going to be the heel, the other person's going to be the face, with Kaiser being the super face out in Mexico. So, yeah, very interesting stuff there. And then the main event of the night, we saw LA Knight punching his ticket into Elimination Chamber, joining Randy Orton and 4 others. Is this LA Knight's chance to finally get something in WWE? We'll see what happens there. So still waiting on Hutch. He's having issues here on KPHR, but we're powering through. We are powering through this episode. So overall, Raw was pretty good. I liked it. It was probably the weakest Raw that we've seen in a little bit, but overall, I did enjoy this show. And for me, the biggest takeaway from this was not only are they building towards Elimination Chamber, but you're really seeing some seeds of WrestleMania being planted. These seeds are super, super. Yeah, we'll see where they go. Hutch, you there?
Am I here?
Yes, you're back. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Don't worry, man. It's all good. It's all good.
That's like there's like a list of about 5 or 6 things in the world that like trigger me hard, and like unexplained audio or video issues, like just like, dude, if there's a reason, great. But like the no reason, and then having to figure out what, like one of my programs just decided to activate my mic and start
and take over
out of nowhere. It was just like, I'm gonna take this mic now. I'm like, and I had to figure out, like, anyways.
You're back. We're talking wrestling here on KPHR and on YouTube. Yeah, man. So LA Knight is in. Rhea Ripley is in. Randy Orton, LA Knight are the two that so far have won matches with 4 to go. Tiffany Stratton and Rhea Ripley with 4 to go. Elimination Chamber is really shaping up to be interesting. And like I was just saying when you were connecting again, while I thought that this was a weaker Raw than usual, especially over the past few weeks, I do like that they're planting the seeds for WrestleMania and building towards an actual Elimination Chamber card.
Yeah, they are. I don't know what to say, man. I didn't hear anything you were talking about, and I'm completely freaking thrown off here. Like, completely. Like, I was on a freaking tangent about, like, the money and the Saudis or something, right? I didn't even get to my point. Like, God, so freaking irritated. But yeah, Raw, whatever. Elimination Chamber.
There we go. You know what? Let's turn the page to AEW last night. What a show it was. I'm kind of glad that we decided to record this morning. All technical issues aside.
Like the only time we've ever gone live too. And like when it's been like 6 months since my mic just suddenly disappeared or anything like that. So of course the one time we go live had to freaking happen, right? Anyway,
it's okay, dude. Don't worry.
I know it's okay. It's just,
it happens. It honestly happens.
Is there anybody in our chat? Or is there anybody, like, can you see if there's anybody
watching? Right now, no. I haven't seen anything there just yet.
And nobody's watching.
Eye on things.
There you go. You get the best
people
show in the world.
2 people are watching right now. Considering that this is sporadic as sporadic can be.
That's true. Yeah, okay, I guess so. But, yeah, all right.
All right. There we go.
Well, AEW.
Let's talk some AEW Dynamite.
Right.
Let's talk AEW Dynamite. Let's start with right with the thick of things. Tommaso Ciampa, Kyle Fletcher.
Like, that wasn't the end. That was near the beginning. The ending was the women's match. Did the show start with this match?
Yeah,
it was very soon near the beginning. Yeah, I mean a little bit of a shock, but I don't know. I'm glad that it wasn't a long reign in some ways. I thought Ciampa could do really well with a long reign, but it did kind of come out of nowhere for him to show up, become the champ, and let's try and get some support behind him and stank on him. But we all knew who he was. But I don't know. People have been complaining about the long reigns, but I do think it's weird that they didn't go to the time limit draw since they were like announcing, 15 minutes passed and it was a really good long match. Were you just frozen there all that time? Because I thought you were just like being really stoic. Wow. What a day we decided to go live, eh?
About it.
Yeah, it was weird that they went so long in the match but didn't go to the time limit draw, because you could have easily then gone to Australia this weekend and had the rematch and had him win there in front of his home crowd. And now he's going to take on Mark Briscoe for the 7th time, as opposed to like putting some more stank on Ciampa. Makes me think that Psycho Killer Ciampa is still to come. Like the best is yet to come, right? This is going to be the catalyst for you took Sylvie. Like he's going to go nuts. He'll interfere in that match. He's going to snap. He's going to become whatever it is that he pitched Tony Khan that made Tony say, all right, yeah, let's do this. Let's begin this thing. Because Ciampa's he loves what he does. He's very cerebral. He says he's in the best shape, best place of his life. And that 2018 Ciampa is nothing compared to what he has in here and able to do. So hopefully this is the beginning of the Psycho Killer, man. Because showing up and losing and then disappearing becoming the next Private Party would not be cool because we haven't seen them since last January and they showed up out of nowhere. Pretty good job, though. I mean, unless you want to be a famous wrestler who has good, is proud of your catalog, then maybe you might be upset. But if you're just looking for a pay, this is the damn best job in the world. Mark Quinn, you are my hero, bro. Have you wrestled like 3 times in the last 4 years? And you're probably making at least 350, 400 grand a year, if not probably more. You're my fucking hero, man. Oh, you are my hero, man. All right. That's my one. That's my one of 2 per show. I'm giving myself another one for later. Okay. That's one of my 2, the deal we made.
You're allowed. This week, I'll give you another one. This week, I'll give you a third because of the technical issues.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I didn't, funny. I didn't think I swear through any of that. I was just like, ooh, I was just seething a bit. Right. I only swear when I'm happy. When I'm not saying anything, they're in trouble.
So I've noticed this. So I agree with you. I think that the thought process here, but I'm interested to see what happens because if Ciampa gets involved in that match on Saturday, which we'll talk about and preview later, then I can see if the Psycho Killer comes out, then Kyle Fletcher's at home. He's going to get the sympathetic crowd reaction.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess maybe they don't want the crowd to boo Champ. I don't know what they're thinking. Who knows what these guys are thinking? But AEW, I'm almost ashamed that I was like, should I watch it this week or whatever? I was tired. But really, it's the better product if you are a wrestling fan. You're going to get 1 week where they throw in some story. This week was very wrestling heavy, not a lot of story. But I don't know. AEW is becoming not that it wasn't, but it's becoming a really, really good product now. They're coming into their own. I still don't think Tony Khan is the best booker. I still think he books like a prepubescent child and yeah. I don't know if he's coming to the maturity, and I feel bad criticizing people like that. It's like, how dare you talk about this man's maturity? He's a very successful man. Who are you? But it's true. Wrestlers even say they take 6-7 years to really learn how to wrestle, even though they've been doing it for a long time. I think Tony Khan's still in the prepubescent times of his booking. He's going to look back 10 years from now and be like, what was I thinking, man? God, have some patience, have some geez, relax. So, but still good stuff. Was that 10 minutes?
The world title. Yeah, that's great. The world title picture is really heating up. Omega, comes out. Omega is 100% in the world title picture. Swerve Strickland, 100% in the world title picture, and they go at it back and forth. What I've always said about what I love the most is when it's more than just one program as the world title program, right? I'm loving the dynamic. You got Brody King and MJF. You got Strickland and Omega. And then you also have Hangman Adam Page somewhere, hanging in the rafters, doing his thing.
You even got Andrade, really.
Andrade.
This heating up. In fact, the other day I counted 6, and that's only 5. So who would have been the other person, maybe? Maybe I was counting MJF, but I'm pretty sure I was there's 6 guys kind of gunning for him right now in a weird way. So yeah, pretty fun. Well, I guess Joe was still making some promos a few weeks ago about I'm coming for my thing, right? And them. So, but anyways, it still felt good. It felt fresh. It's nice to see he's got all these guys coming after him. The reason that Punk and Roman had a good promo is because they talked about the past. They did what we do with our comic books. They go back and they rewrite continuity, retro. I can't believe I can't say it right now. But retro continuity, retcon. There we go. The retcon. They put it all together. AEW, when people say, oh, AEW, they don't have storylines, they don't have this and that. It's like that version of the Roman Punk promo that came out of nowhere and punched you in the face. AEW does that all the time at a lower intensity rate. It's almost like they're high school kids and they're like, I remember what you did last summer. Now, I don't forget that thing you did. They never forget their interactions and their things, and they're always bringing it up with each other. It's not the Pierre Lafitte stole Brett's jacket, and that's the reason for them to have a feud. In AEW, the reason for people to have feuds is the stuff you didn't even know about, where you're like, oh, Swerve and Omega, what's their problem? And within a minute and a half, you're like, oh, that's their problem. And it makes sense. Yes. And then Omega slaps him across the face, and you're like, "Oh shit, it's on!" It's great.
2. That's 2.
Oh, I guess. All right, fine.
One more. You get one more. Here's the thing: what I like about the Swerve Omega thing. Kenny Omega in AEW, he's always a little hammy. He's a little campy. It's like he tries to bring to life an anime villain, and it just doesn't work in AEW and the North American audience. But you throw in someone like a Swerve Strickland, he's all business. He's all game. He's all focused, and that's what I really liked about it. Their interaction yesterday.
Yeah, Swerve's a badass gangster, and then you go to his house and you realize he's got a whole room full of like Common Rider
comics
toys, and like Robotech, like original Robotech 80s toys.
Ultron.
Like, oh, you're a nerd, eh? And he's like, check out my Green Lantern tattoo. And I'm like, oh, you're the Hurricane. It's like he's that guy, right? So but he comes off like a gangster, which is great because you need that. We got enough video game nerds in wrestling these days.
Absolutely. Just remember, not only are we here on KPHR Hamilton, but we're also on YouTube. Part of being YouTube and part of being the live chat is that you can chat with us, and sometimes we'll bring up comments, questions, so that we can interact directly. And here is one from JC Trevi 89. Thank you so much for this one. And this is what he says: you guys, Stevie Richards and CVV, are the only thing I enjoy listening to when it comes to wrestling.
Really? Awesome. I mean, CVV's a cool guy. I don't know Stevie Richards. I have a feeling he might not be a cool guy. I feel like you want to get to know him, and you have a great conversation with him. And after hanging out with him for a few days, you're like, Stevie's kind of getting on my nerves. He's weird. He's very particular. He didn't like that I put the glass on the table when I was done drinking. He wanted me like,
well, you can't disrespect the wood. Never.
Yeah, but I said he's that guy who's all like, don't you know that's original cedar oak combination? I feel like, okay, oh yeah, all right. Anyways, I bet you he's
all right.
But hey, thank you for the compliment. Was that like an actual chat in the YouTube chat?
Yes.
I'm gonna get that shit on the screen. Right. I want to be able to react to
I did get it on the screen.
Right over. Oh no, but I mean on my screen, so I can see it. I need a screen. I need control. I need a back end. I can't just be talking. You got to give me control as well. Come on, Boris. Let's go, balls to the walls. Well, okay. I was like, did I swear? Balls isn't a swear.
Nah, balls is good.
TSN says I can't
balls
say.
is good.
I can't say ass on TSN.
I know.
Really?
I know.
I can't say kicked his ass. They're like, no, kick his butt. I'm like, what is this, kindergarten? Go get butt. So I made sure to say
Montreal.
butt like 8 times on my TSN show last week.
John Moxley, Pac, and Claudio Castagnoli took on Takeshita, Josh Alexander, and Mark Davis. This was good, but here's my question to you. What are they doing with John Moxley?
I don't know. Like, are the Death Riders like faces now? Because I can cheer Claudio till the end of time. I can cheer Pac till the end of time, and you want to. And I don't even really hate Moxley that much. Like when he's not taking himself so seriously, I like Moxley. But like I don't know, they're not going anywhere. This whole we thought the Death Riders are going to break up thing with Mox, like around October last year, the C1, and it was really we were all discussing that. Like obviously it's not happening. But I like the fact that they're not the focus of everything now. Now that they're just a faction of guys, like I don't hate them anymore. But when that music was hitting and the briefcase and the belt and like this thing they were trying to accomplish that they vaguely never actually told us and then never actually did, and it just went on forever. I'm like, what is the point of all this? Now that that's gone, it's okay. It's okay. I don't know what Daniel Garcia is doing there. But speaking of new members, Roddy got mad tonight, and Roddy's going to go hang out with his wife, like Roddy and the Death Riders. Like when this happens, we're going to have a Roddy and the Death Riders like celebration stream. So I can be all like, yeah, Roddy and the Death Riders. And then you can even, if you want to do like a heel thing, because people like to boo Wheeler and they like to boo Shafir. And even though people generally like Roddy, you could probably boo him because he's the kind of guy that sneaks up behind you, tosses you a foot in the air and like cracks your back. And you're like, oh, bastard. Can I say that one? We got a list of stuff I can say. Okay, let me know so I'm not always pausing after. But like you could boo Roddy. I don't know. Like maybe they need a brand split in the Death Riders. Right? They can still be there, right? We just do a little bit of collision and Dynamite or something like that. But did I answer your question?
Sometimes. I don't remember what I asked. Oh yeah, what's happening with John Moxley? You talk about everyone but John Moxley.
Okay, I guess so. Yeah, I don't know, but like I'm down with that stuff. God, like go all the way back to the day that freaking William Regal walked in the ring and like was in between Mox and Dan Bryan. And like back to those days, the potential, and all, I know it all went to shit for reasons, with Regal leaving and Bryan's neck, unfortunately. Like, hey, Bryan back on commentary tonight. Hey, that was first time in a long time. What did I say?
Shit. No, 3-1 now.
All right.
Yeah.
Damn. I'm glad you're on top of it. You'll do it like 3 times in a row, like within the same sentence. You'll be like,
I know.
F and the F, and I like the F and F. And I'm like, well, that was like 4, bro, in like a second. So at least I spread mine out. Yeah, dude, he's on commentary again. Have you heard that he was starting to feel really good for a while with the neck thing? And then he was doing the commentary. Supposedly the travel for the commentary
dude.
Really screwing with his neck.
Travel is hell, man. For someone who used to travel 200, 250 days a year, your body takes a beating constantly sitting down on airplanes, sitting down in uncomfortable airplane seats, sitting down in uncomfortable airport seats, sitting down in cabs, Ubers, what have you. Knowing Dan O'Brien, he takes a scooter that's not even battery powered, it's solar powered.
Yeah,
right?
he's got his old hemp WWE title stashed to the back of it, so everybody knows I'm still the champion of the earth. I'm still Captain Planet. No, but so like from what I was hearing, it was mostly sleep. Like when it got to a point where he was sleeping through the night, not waking up and with no pain, and then going through the day with very little pain, he was like, wow, I think I can branch out to other things. He was like, it got to the point now where he was in hotels and he's like, I can't sleep. I'm in pain. I'm waking up constantly, right back to where he was. So they're obviously going to bring it down. And I guess we're not going to see him in Australia this weekend. We're just rolling the dice. I'm thinking maybe, right? But
that's the thing, right? Like, again, my experience is the hotel rooms and hotel beds. You get one that's hard, you get one that's soft, you get one that's great, you get one that's horrible. Like it's such a toss up. So I can't even imagine the wear and tear that these guys have and having to go through that. But
I mean, you've been on plane. I've been on planes many times, dude. Air pressure stuff can screw with you, man. Like think about your kids and their ears popping, bro. Like your whole body is made out of water. And like mostly the things that happen, the reason they tell people when you're on certain medications or you've just had certain surgeries and things like that, you can't fly because like air pressure on wounds and things like that. It's not just your ears popping. It's a big deal. And doing that 2 or 3 times to your body, that kind of compression and decompression, like it can really probably screw with your neck and things like that, as well as sitting and sleeping in an airplane or whatnot. I mean, there's a reason you don't go scuba diving the day before you leave on the last day of your trip, right? There's a
reason why flight attendants and pilots have so many hours that they can do in the air a week.
Yeah. It's not that healthy for you. So it really sucks. I have friends that are pilots, and my one buddy friend, he's like a stewardess, right? He's like, what do you call them? Airline, not a hostess, but there's another
flight attendant.
There we go, flight attendant. God, I'm such an idiot. I'm always like, what's that word? And you're like, the word that everybody uses.
The
all
one
the time,
that I just said 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, I'm like, why don't you go back to the 70s? I'm like, what do they call them? Stewardesses? And you're like, no, you idiot. Stop watching James Bond movies on your spare time. I'm like, what is this, get out of the 60s. That's me. That's what's happening, right? Obviously very weird. No, they don't get paid very much. They only get paid for the time they're in the air. So traveling to the airport, the whole train system in the airport, prepping the entire plane, getting all the meals ready, all that stuff, you get paid for none of it. You only get paid for wheels up to wheels down. And you get paid for that time.
A lot of the unions are fighting on their pay. Anyways,
yeah, man. And then you got Ric Flair causing all this trouble in the plane, and you're like, oh, this is not worth it. My God. He pinched my ass.
Roderick Strong and Orange Cassidy versus AEW's newest signing, Clark Connors and Daniel Garcia.
I guess Garcia eats the pin. I like Clark Connors mostly because he's tamed Tekla, who obviously, like, she's crazy. Hey, what's up, my friend? Pretty neat. I like Clark Connors. He seems like a cool dude. I've never met him. I don't even think I've seen any of his tweets or anything he's said online. All I know is what I see on my TV screen in New Japan, and I like him.
Yep. So. Funko Populous, Good Morning Hutch, and Boris! Exclamation point. This is a treat.
Hey, I saw that.
Exclamation point. Exactly. Yeah.
Very much so.
Again, live show here on YouTube, and you can listen to us later on in the day on KPHR in Hamilton. Like I said, we're trying out new things. So yeah, Roderick Strong and Orange Cassidy, Clark Connors, Daniel Garcia. This was an okay match. Went pretty fast. Cassidy and Strong get the dub.
Yep. And then the conflict after, right? Or conflict within. I'm trying to remember. I actually was half paying attention.
Toni Storm appeared in the luxury box. She said she made peace with her choices. She called Marina Shafir a mixed martial asshole. Ooh, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. Mixed.
Yeah, wait. There was a small period of time here where I was half paying attention. All I remember is seeing Mina Shafir she came out in the mother's milk, my favorite move of all time, right? Like she had her in the move. I looked up and she was just in the move and they were cutting her hair. And I was like, wow, okay, what's going on here? But wait, Tony and Marina have heat now? I didn't know that. What's going on? You really got to pay attention to AEW like constantly, or else you're behind the 8 ball.
No, even here's the thing. It's to the point now where you have to watch Collision. You have to watch the Collision to see what's happening and to know everything that's happening, which isn't an issue. Collision's been a lot better recently. But what I was saying before about Swerve and Omega, and you're like, oh, you didn't because they keep the background stuff real and the same stuff they did with Punk and Roman, instead of it being a sudden promo, they keep that stuff simmering all the time. I could see them actually breaking up and they're like bisexual thing, and Juice is like, well, you don't like her anymore? It's like, she pissed me off, Juice. I'm not seeing her anymore. I'm like, okay, honey, I guess just you and me again. And then actually putting it on TV. And that's what's crazy about Japanese wrestling. Like, if there's a fallout behind the scenes and I don't think you're paying me enough and I'm going to go start they're like open about it. There's no, they literally put it right into storylines. They'll come into the ring and they'll be like, I'm leaving because you're not paying me enough. They don't do that stuff in America. But like AEW, they kind of like to let the backstage stuff maybe become the storyline, which gives it some legitimacy because we're all humans. We all, we've all hated our girlfriend or been mad about weird stuff like that. So for Swerve to come out and be like, yeah, you got heat with me. You want to know why? Because of all this crap. And you're like, oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. And slap and bam. And now they're like, wow. So it's kind of the same thing. If this heat came out of nowhere, it's in AEW, it's kind of believable. If WWE did an out of nowhere thing, they'd get heat online. People will be like, where's this coming from? It's like, it's weird. Matt Hardy and Edge and Lita, right? Like, that kind of came out of nowhere. A lot of people were confused unless you were in the inn.
Yes, but it also has longevity. Like, when things are based basically in reality to a degree, you look back on it on years later and it always has some degree of legitimacy and staying power.
This is why. Can you imagine the business that AEW would be in right now and how much money they would have been able to print money if they were able to all play nice and together after Brawl Out and CM Punk?
Yeah, like think of the main event scene in WWE if nobody had really left. Like if Cody had stayed and CM Punk had stayed, and like they'd be in a real spot right now. Well, maybe Obafemi and Javon Evans would be in the main event this year. Who knows?
Maybe Sami Zayn would be champ. Maybe Kevin Owens would. Who knows, right? Like it's one of those what ifs.
Drew McIntyre would be the biggest face in the world right now. He'd be the new Hulk Hogan.
LA Knight would be 10-time champ by now.
LA Knight would have been champ by now, probably. Yes. But hey, yeah, I'm okay with the way it is. I kind of like Punk now. Like when he just looks so like at peace with himself and smug, and I'm like, all right, fine.
You can relate. You can relate.
To a degree, I guess. Except he seems happy and successful, whereas I'm like about to hit my midlife crisis. But yes, it's okay.
Midlife crisis? You sure about that?
Yeah. Wait. What part is it? The crisis or the midlife? What part are you?
The midlife.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever.
Private Party versus the Young Bucks versus the Rascals.
Yeah, here's like I was saying earlier, like Mark Quinn, my hero. Like, pay me to wrestle once a year for the last 5 years. Give me like $500,000 a year to wrestle once a year, please. Thank you. Yes, I'd like to have a great catalog. I'd like to have a great career, but I think I'm okay with wrestling once a year for $500,000. Let's do it. Okay, Mark Quinn, however you did it, buddy. You're the man.
Keep it up.
Now look at Daniel Bryan sitting on commentary holding his neck. And Mark Quinn's like, bro, I'm half your age. I'm doing great. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to go head off to my third house right now. Yeah.
Right. I like this match though. The Rascals is getting a lot of airtime. This is quite the match, to be honest. Like, you had the Rascals, who are the new guys in town. You had the Young Bucks as the established act, and then you had Private Party as, oh, by the way, they're still here.
Yeah, and I realize now that this match was advertised previously with like the whole like faded out question mark third people, right, if I recall now. So there you go. I guess if you're going to surprise people, you can surprise people with a team they haven't seen in a while. It was great and all, but nobody expected them to win. In fact, I think they ate the pin, didn't they? Was Isaiah ate the pin? Yeah, so there you go.
Mark Quinn.
Oh, he did? Okay. I didn't watch this live. I watched it late night. And it's amazing. I'll watch like entire matches and entire sections, and and then something will happen, and I'll just be chatting with my girl or doing something. I'm still watching, but I missed the minutia where I'm like, who got pinned again? It was one of the guys in that team, right? Okay, good.
Yep. Then we got FTR and Stokely Hathaway. Man, they're not doing anything for me right now.
No, they're in a holding pattern for Edge and Christian, right? I mean, that's what everybody's saying. And then Edge is going to retire here in Toronto in October, so they got to come back, win the titles, do some shimmy shammy, wrestly.
Yep. This led us into the main event: Chris Statlander versus Tekla for the AEW Women's World Championship. New champion was crowned. I was surprised by this.
Yeah, like you're not expecting 2 title changes in a show.
Yeah.
But I was more surprised by the previous one because I thought they might do, like I was saying, they might go time limit draw. They might go to Australia. They might do something. I wasn't as surprised about the Tekla thing, only because the rematch kind of came out of like nowhere and there was no reason for it. Like Tekla has lost a few matches. Tekla hasn't beaten Monet and Hayter and Storm and all these people. And so when she loses to Statlander and then immediately gets a rematch for no reason, I thought maybe they might be moving into either a program or they might do a title change. But when I did think in my head, I'm like, come on, Jay, are they really going to put it on Tekla? But this is great. This is going, she's unique. She's cool. Obviously, Claire Connors likes her. And this is going to up her status everywhere in Japan, here. You've now made yourself another main eventer. And she hasn't spoken a ton. She hasn't been in our face a ton. So she's still like a bit of a mystery. You're like, wow, is Tekla that good? It like, you know what I mean? Like this could be really cool. Like 6 months from now, you could be like, yo, Tekla, like kicking everybody's butt. Caught myself.
There we go.
Everybody's butt. But the F, if I say the F word beforehand. Yeah, so I guess I liked it. It was pretty cool. Stat, like, not a great reign. Part of me is thinking that there's work still to be done here. Because she really did have a great run, beating all those people that I mentioned. She gets Stat beat all those people, right? And Tekla hasn't. And so maybe this is a reason for her to come back and beat Tekla for the belt. I don't know. I hope she just doesn't not get the belt back because it was a bit of a lackluster run. But the big complaint with AEW lately has been the long title reigns. So maybe Tony's.
But that's the thing. Here's the thing about AEW, and what I find about AEW and Statlander fell into this is the build, the chase is where it's at. Once these people have their titles, they kind of fizzle off. Look at what happened to Adam Page, not once but twice. Look at what happened to Swerve. Look at what happened to MJF.
Yeah, but I already, if you go back and watch previous podcasts, I knew the Hangman was going to be a transitional champion because that's the wrong word. Was going to have a short reign because Hangman is better chasing the title. The heartbroken, like angry, like the I'm the champ and I'm the best, and let me wear my rainbow tights and tell you how much more virtuous I am than you. Only lasts for me about a month or two, but like heartbroken, crazy. I'm going to burn your house down, Hangman. I can watch that shit all year. I can watch that stuff all year.
Hart and Blue attack Statlander after the bell, but Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor make the save. So already here you go. You have other people in the mix for the main title. Tony Storm is still out of the main mix, So yeah, there we go. Very interesting stuff.
Hey, the Stat's the only one who's won the TBS and the world. So you fold her into that tag title scene sometime this year. And then by the end of the year, even if she doesn't get the title world, anyways, I'm foreseeing by the end of the year, Statlander's big, like marquee is going to be like the Grand Slam or the Triple Crown, like the only woman to hold all the titles in AEW. That's going to be their thing.
Yeah. Pretty good dynamite. Which leads us into this Saturday's Grand Slam Australia. It's taking over Collision's TV spot. Want to go through the matches real quick?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Why not?
We have Orange Cassidy and Tony Storm versus the Death Riders, Wheeler Yuta and Marina Shafir.
Yeah, I mean, are they going to have a mixed tag title soon? But like this has really just been. They've already had this match and they're just doing it again, right? It's not like they have a bunch of mixed tag teams out there.
So this match is a mixed tornado tag team match where the loser of the fall must have their head shaved bald.
That's right. So who's going to shave their head? Like not Tony Storm.
I can see it being either Storm or Shafir. It's going to be one of the women.
Yeah, like Shafir can handle it and she'll look like a crazy badass. Although, dude, is it Wheeler Yuta?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, they're gonna shave Wheeler's head. Like every comment about this guy is his beard and his hair, and now he looks like a freaking Wookiee or whatever, right? They're gonna take him down. But I could also totally see Toni Storm shaving her head and like playing right into it and being like, eh. Like, can you imagine her like bald cutting a promo? And it'd be like insane. Yep. So yeah, everybody but Orange Cassidy, I'm putting on the table. In fact, I guess if I had to bet, I'm like, my bet is Orange Cassidy will not get his head shaven. If we were going to Vegas for Mania, I'm like, I'm putting it on the table. But I'm not, the other three, I don't know. I don't know who. It's got to be somebody, one of those three, though.
Since we are live on YouTube, Funko Pop Plus says better not be Storm. It's gone. The audio is gone yet again, but hopefully this time he knows how to save it and make it work yet again. He is not back right now. I have no clue what's happening. We have about 10 minutes left here on KPHR and on YouTube. Yes. So then there we go.
Dude, this is twice now, but it was a different thing this time. When it happened like 4 months ago or whatever, what I just did now solved the problem very quickly. I was like, okay, that was weird. But earlier in this stream, that was a whole new problem. I was like, what is this? What is going on?
The next match is a singles match, where the winner is going to receive an AEW World Championship match at Revolution. We have Hangman Adam Page versus Andrade El Idolo.
Who do you think? I don't know, man. I'm thinking Andrade. They're putting some stank on him. If you have him lose here, Hangman can take a loss. Come on, man. He's like the main character of AEW. It doesn't matter. It only adds to that stuff I was talking about. Like, especially if he gets cheated out of it. He's like, oh, they screwed me again. He's gonna go burn somebody's house down. But Andrade, put that stank on him.
I don't know how it's gonna happen. I don't know what's going to happen. I have a feeling we're either going to get a triple threat or a 4-person match at Revolution with Andrade, MJF, and Brody King.
Yeah, maybe. Sure. Andrade can flog it on his OF. Be like, hey, I got a match this weekend too, eh?
I don't even know. I got nothing on that one. Jon Moxley versus Takeshita. This is for the AEW Continental Championship.
Yeah, so okay, it's got to be Takeshita, right? In my mind.
You think so?
Moxley doesn't need the title. We got to get back to Okada and Takeshita. Like, dude, like a month ago, I was sitting here thinking, oh my God, he could have the Continental title and the International title and the IWG, and he could beat Tsuji and have the Global. And I didn't think he was going to be Tsuji, but I was like, technically, this guy could be walking out of like Wrestle Kingdom with like 5 belts, and then he ends up having like none by the end of it. He didn't win Continental. He didn't win any of this stuff. But we got to get back to Okada and Takeshita. I mean, because they just like, there was so much tension and there was so much screwing each other over and face to face. Like, it was so much of it. So they got to give it to us. And also got to bring back the unified title, the greatest title in AEW history. So he's got to win the Continental title from Mox. And then Mox has to get involved in this whole like, Marina Shafir, why are you betraying me for your husband? Don't you love me? And then like Roddy's going to be like, she's been mine the whole time, dude. Like, what is going on here? And so he's got to go face, and he doesn't need a title for that. And then Takeshita can take on Okada, and they can bring back the unified title. And then my casual friends can send me messages like, so what's with this unified title thing? And then I can have that whole conversation again with everyone.
And then Yorkie on the A+ chat can say,
whatever,
what's the deal with all these belts?
Yeah, and I'd be like, okay, so like if he has the unified title, why does Don Callis still come out with the other 2 belts? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe him and Paul Heyman are having freaking meetings because they're like, how are we going to get in the video game if we don't like have a reason for them to have us there? You know, like, you need to mocap me with both belts. I don't know.
AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship match sees the Babes of Wrath, Harley Cameron, and Willow Nightingale versus Mega Bads, Megan Bayne, and Penelope Ford.
Could go either way, man. This one could go either way because they're obviously doing quick title changes right now. Penelope Ford and Megan, like if I was Tony Khan, like in a tongue-in-cheek way, I'd be like, well, we better put the title on Bayne and Penelope Ford before Ford injures herself again. She's only got like an 8-month window before she breaks something. So let's give her a belt while we can.
Yep. Ladder match for the AEW TNT Championship, Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe.
It's going to probably be a good match, but do we need this match? Do I care about this match? Like, Ciampa better be getting involved or something better happen here. Like, it just seemed weird that they cut it off and when he's like, I'll take on anyone. Like, you had the opportunity to have some crazy person come out and challenge you in your hometown for the title you just won. And it was like, Mark Briscoe. And I was like, okay, all right. But so all I'm saying is, I guess they must know what they're doing. And they better be put on a hell of a show. But do I really need to see Mark Briscoe and Kyle Fletcher make each other bleed and go through like we've seen this before, right? But I'm sure there must be some reason. Like maybe Ciampa can't travel to Australia or something. Who knows?
And then the singles match for the AEW World Championships. He's MJF versus Brody King.
Well, obviously, Brody King's going to be our new AEW World Champion because he's got nobody likes MJF. There's no money there. There's no future there. Come on. No, I think we all know what's going to happen here, right? They built it up well, squashed him, and they're going to have probably a good match. They're going to be a lot of falsies, and everybody's going to be voting, going to be cheering for Brody, but I think MJF's coming out on top. Do you think this is our main event? I mean, yeah. Do you think I think so. And okay, I mean, makes sense with the championship, but Brody King versus MJF over
Kyle Fletcher.
I was gonna say Swerve and Hangman or Swerve and Omega, but that's next week on Dynamite. Hey, they announced it for next week. Yeah. I think so. Yeah, and that's the first time ever match. See, okay. Yeah, okay, maybe. I'm trying to think, is there any other match where we might suddenly be surprised that it's the main event? You know, like the women's world title. This is 2026, right? The women's world championship can main event a pay-per-view, can't it? You know, but
I think it can.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So, but Tekla's the new women's world champ. So is she taking on anybody?
Nope. No, that's the card. What I just said is the full card. So the only other match that I can see main eventing, depends with what's going on, is and Mark Briscoe. I'm going to show you something. We're going to talk about this. I hope you can see this. Here is the draw for the New Japan Cup 2026. It starts March the 4th, and it goes until the 21st, with the winner gaining a title shot. Real quick, what stands out to you? For me, man, seeing Jake Lee on this is going to be awesome.
Yeah, and former GHC champ, but he just seems weird. He seems like a House of Torture guy to me, and I don't know. I haven't gotten into Jake Lee yet, so I'm hoping to. I'm realizing that for a Japanese guy, supposedly he's like he's gorgeous, and I'm just like, every time I'm online, I'm seeing this whole thing about him is that he's this tall, gorgeous man, and I'm like, oh, is that his shtick? I didn't know. So I'm gonna have to look at it now that he walks around with this air of like I'm freaking amazing. So I'll have to see that heel part of him that I haven't seen yet. But what stands out to me the most is that how they do all these weird second round buys, and I don't see why. Is this was it a random draw?
Wow, Drilla Maloney just signed a new contract in New Japan, so it's like, hey, here's a buy to the next round.
Yeah, it just seems weird. And Shingo to Ishii, Hanare, Goto, Hartley, Jackson. See, and then there's the weird people who are getting it where it doesn't make sense. Like Yujiro, why is Takahashi go get a buy? Why is Zack Sabre? I don't know.
I'm thinking the finals for me, just looking at this real quick, is going to be Shingo against Zack Sabre Jr.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, so if I look at one side here, who's going to win out of all these people? Yeah, maybe Shingo. Although Shingo's in his stage right now of I can lose to someone and it puts them over, makes them look really strong. So he could lose in the semifinal or a round to somebody like a Driller Maloney that you don't expect or something, and then he moves forward. Although I guess that would be quarterfinal looking at the brackets here. But yeah, on that side, Zack Sabre Jr. Yeah, maybe, or Jake Lee. But I think he's doesn't he have a title match just happened, so. Right? Yeah, and I guess he must have lost it. I was planning on watching that today, but I guess if he's in the tournament here, he's obviously didn't win the title match.
Yep.
Yeah, weird. Very weird. I hope the best for New Japan. They're in a really weird spot. And Okada saying that he was ignored at Wrestle Kingdom. Nobody spoke to him. And he's like, no wonder you guys aren't doing very well. What's going on over there at New Japan? But part of me might be thinking that they're still the same. It's just you're not the same. You're the guy who left and went and made $1 million and is now coming back to main event our show. Yet you're the reason that we're in the position that we're in right now because you left us hanging.
Great.
So maybe it's like Heat, and he's like, wow, it's a totally different company now. It's like, no, you're not part of this company now. So they're treating you like an outsider, which is weird.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Hutch.
Can't blame the guy.
It's been an hour here on YouTube and on KPHR, and it's time for us to go. So real quick, let our listeners and viewers know where they can find all of your beautiful work.
At Hutch Henry's. Check it out. I've been working on a lot of New Japan stuff lately. I don't know if I sent you my recent video, but I'm trying to bank a bunch of videos so that I can release them within succession, try and clip the algorithm into this new slight direction I'm going. But yeah, I've got a lot of stuff on the plate. At Hutch Henry's, finishing off the Canadian title documentary, this kind of stuff, the what ifs, and now my Puro Resu freaking playlist. Gonna be nuts. Love the live voice. Thanks.
Yep.
I like
We're gonna try to do more of these. You know, I like doing live shows. I really do. For me, it's easy to interact still and then pay attention and chat and all that fun stuff. aplusproductions.com is the best place to go to learn all things about A Plus Wrestling. Go to your favorite podcasting app and subscribe to A Plus Wrestling or A Plus Productions if you want to get the full gambit of our shows. We got so much going on, so much on the go. We thank you so much for listening. Whether this is the first episode or the 100th episode, we thank you. And until next time, take care. But most importantly, stay tranquilo.